Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be doing a video on Casper. This is going to be a lower time frame video. We do have a higher time frame video up above, so check that out if that is more what you're interested in. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so we're just going to go over a brief overview. So what we're looking for within that higher time frame count is the potential that we could be looking for a fifth wave to the upside here. Now the alternative to this would be that we are not completed this corrective move and we could still be looking for this B wave to the downside, where we actually look to come back down here in an A, a B, and a C. So we are right within this rejection zone, so we need to be careful that we don't start to break down in a bigger C wave. Okay, so let's get into these internals and discuss what needs to happen for both the bullish case and that bearish case. So if we are looking for the bullish case here, what we would be saying is there's two ways that we can potentially look at this move. So what we could say is that within this count, we have this is a 1, 2, this is another 1 here, and we're looking for a secondary wave 2. Now we have come down here into this 0.382 already, but typically speaking, what we are looking for is a bit of a deeper retracement. We can look to turn around from these levels, and it did come into this previous fourth wave as well. So I'm just being on the lookout for this potential that this could be 1, 2 here. Now the key thing here is we'd only get confirmation by actually having a much higher push up here, because effectively if our wave 2 is here, our 1.618 is up here at this 0.58855. So I'm still looking out for that potential. We could still come down lower here towards this golden pocket area, which would be towards this zone here of this 0.175, but we need to watch how this reacts from this point. If we only get 3 wave move to the upside, this could actually indicate we have continuation to the downside. So we're looking for the potential that from here we're going to get a 5 wave move to the upside. Now there's 2 ways, like I said, we can look at this. We can look at this as 1, 2, 1, 2 here, in which case we'd be looking for a much bigger move to the upside here. Alternatively, we could also argue that this is 1, 2, 3. This is actually a 4th wave and a 5th. Now the reason why I'm looking at this as a secondary count is because we didn't hit 1.618, and because we didn't actually hit that 1.618, we can get this as a 5 wave move where it develops without hitting that level, but we just need to be cautious because this could always just be something like a corrective move up, and then we see another corrective move to the downside here, something like this. So the key zone here for invalidation is going to be this 19800. If we lose this level, this would actually invalidate this count. It wouldn't invalidate the idea of this being 1, 2 over here though. That would only be invalidated by actually taking this low point here of this 13632 region. So if we are looking at this count here, what we would be saying is that we're looking for a 4th wave here. And ideally, if we have a look at the time relationship between these 2 waves, I would say that I would want to see this actually move up directly. Now, if we just see this get a 3 wave move up and start to fall down again, even if we don't cross this invalidation line here, it would just be less likely that it's this 4th wave, because I would like to see these have some good proportion within them, though in reality as a 4th wave this can look to stretch out here a little bit, but I'd need to protect this low for this to remain a valid count. So the target area for this as a 5th wave up here would actually be this 34657 to this 30510. So what we want to see with this count once again is that idea of a 5 wave move to the upside, looking to hit this higher range here. Now, as well as that, we do have a little bit of a target box up here towards this 2866 to this 28010 that I would be keeping an eye out, particularly if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could look to actually have a truncation here where we don't reach this higher target and then potentially actually just look to come back up here and retest this 3rd wave high. So need to be careful of that idea. Now the difference between these 2 counts would be that this count would be looking for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'd get a deeper retracement. The other count would actually just be looking for a direct continuation to the upside. So if we are looking at that other count, we need to hold this low and just see price move away from this zone. And ideally, we would want to see big volume coming in if that is the case. Okay, so let's get into this lower degree count here. Now, the idea here is that this could also still be a corrective move, where we were talking about this as A, B, C. Like I said, you know, we've only got 3 waves here. We didn't hit that 1.618. So if we see price actually come back down here, our typical B wave is actually in this zone here of this 0.17855 to this 0.14282 region. So if we do see price come back down into this level where we see this as an A, this is a B, this is a C, this would align with the idea of just having this as a bigger corrective move to the upside here, which would also align with that idea of actually seeing this move over here being an A wave, seeing a bigger A, B, and a C here, and then looking for that C wave down. Though in reality, what we need to be careful of is, as a corrective move, this could have actually completed already, and we could be looking for that breakdown. So we're going to go over these smaller degree counts now, and what we need to see happen here. So first off, while I've got this one on the screen, the idea of looking at this as a corrective move down. So if we're looking at this as a corrective move to the downside here for this B wave, what I would be looking for here is effectively that what we could have is something along these lines. So looking at this move as an A, a B, and a C here for a W, this is a X wave to the upside. And now what I'm looking for is, for as long as we actually maintain this high here of this 25010, what we could actually see is price could just form this as A, we come up here, get rejected, and then we see a move to the downside, looking for these lower targets of this C wave. We see price come down here. Now we've got two different target areas here. So we've actually met the requirement of this as a W, an X, and a Y. This 1-to-1 has actually been hit already. So this is why we need to be cautious of the idea of moving up directly here. Alternatively, what we could see is one more push to the downside. Now, if we did push down lower here, what I would be looking for here would be this potential 0.618 as a minimum at this 20249. Now, if we do look to push down deeper here, the 1-to-1 of this is an A, B, and a C would actually be looking to bring us down here towards this 18666. And that would also align with coming down deeper towards this 1382. Now, we do have some target boxes down here in this area between this 19144 and this 18038 region. There is also a higher one up here, which is sitting towards this 19778 to this 19502. So I would be keeping an eye on these areas, particularly if we come back down here. We could look to sweep these if we are going to see, price come down here. Look to sweep these levels and then look to progress to the upside. So within this, effectively what we are looking for is just a three-wave move to the downside. Now, the key thing here is that if we did get a move down here, and this move is, even if it is completed here, if we just see three waves to the upside and we don't actually manage to break back above these highs here, this could actually just indicate that we're going to see this rejection continue to the downside here, forming that bigger B wave. Now, if we do move down into these lower levels, we still need to be careful of that same idea where we see a three-wave move up back into this zone here of this 26069 to this 23470 region before further rejection to the downside. Now, if we had to see something like that where we see this as A, we get a B, and we get a C wave to the downside, potentially this could look to bring us back down into some of these lower key levels here. And once again, if I overlay that idea of this being an ABC, we can see here that the golden pocket is actually aligning with this idea of coming down towards this 1-to-1, towards this area of this 16284 to this 15882. Now, obviously, there is always a potential, like we said, we could just look to directly break out of this region. And this is what we're going to be discussing. Now, if this is actually a corrective move that's completed into this low here already, what we could be looking for is the potential of that breakout. Now, if we are looking at this in this way, effectively what I'm looking for here is the potential that we could be setting up 1s and 2s. So this could be 1, 2 here. We get another 1, 2, and we actually fail to break down below the 021139. What I would be looking for as a potential target box in this instance would be looking for this zone of this 22330 to this lower range here of this 21544. If we start to lose 21554, it becomes less likely to see continuation up here. So this is our bullish count. What we are looking for ideally here is to see a 5-wave move up, 3 waves down, then continuation to the upside. Now, what I would be looking for if we did have to come back down to this golden pocket, which would be an interesting area to me because it would be retesting this high over here. would be this 2186 to this 2180 as a possible 0.618 retracement. Now, if we do look to break down here, like I said, I don't really want to see the 786 getting broken too much. We can see a potential wick through, but I don't want to see this consolidating underneath here. Otherwise, it becomes more likely we're going to lose this level and invalidate this move. So need to just be on the lookout for that. If we did move down towards this 0.618 area, what we'd be then looking for is this 25227 as a potential target area. Now, it is always possible within this can extend directly where this becomes 1-2, this becomes another 1-2 here, then we form a 1-2, and then we just see price actually move up directly here. What I'm looking for here is this 1618 target to be hit. Now, if we do see extension where this becomes 1-2 and we've already got another lesser degree 1-2 here, and we protect this low of this 22213, what we could see is price could actually be gravitated to the upside here, where instead of that target being lowered down, what we could have is that this 1-2 is already finished over here, and what we're looking for is this zone here of this 02564 as a potential third wave target. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. There isn't enough to say that this is playing out. At the moment, we just have 3 waves up, so we need to just be careful that this isn't corrective. Even if we do come back down here, break this low, we could see some temporary push to the upside and then still look for that continuation afterwards to the downside. So the bullish count here is relying on holding these 2 lows here. I don't want to see these get broken. I want to see this either come down in 3 waves here and we find support here, or we get this as 1-2 and then we get a direct break to the upside here where this whole move is already in play and we're looking for this third wave target, which would be at least this area here of this 24110 region. Now, if we are looking at the blue count here, another area of interest, if we're looking at a direct push to the upside here, where we see a direct impulse develop here, 2.618 is sitting at this 26153. Now, this could be an interesting zone because this could either be where this move ends, where we have the 5th wave come in towards this 2.618, or this could be actually the 3rd wave location. We get a 4th and a 5th and then look to push up higher here. So need to be cautious on this. There is potential for a breakout, but we need to hold these lows and then see the actual waves show us that this is the count, because at the moment we just have a corrective move up here. So that is our bullish count at the moment. Now, what we need to be careful of, this is not my primary count to the downside here, but we need to be careful that something like this could actually develop where we actually have this as a flat for a 2 up here, another flat up here, and then effectively this all becomes our 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave, in which case then we would be looking for the potential of an additional 4th and a 5th. So the key area to keep an eye on here is this invalidation point, 25101. Need to get back above this to invalidate this idea. Now, if we do just get this as 3 waves moved to the upside, our 4th wave target area is actually this 23308 at the 50%. So this was quite a shallow wave 2. So this is being a deeper wave 2 as a zigzag. Would typically look to target out this 50% level, which would be this 23303. Now we can potentially see price push up slightly higher than this, but I would not like to see it cross this invalidation point. That would obviously invalidate this count. But really, until we actually break above this 23303 substantially, just a small break like this doesn't really mean anything. What I'd want to see is, breaking above it and even consolidating above this level until we actually invalidate this move. Until we do that, we need to be careful that we could still get a 5-wave move down. 019604 is the higher end of this, and 018631 is going to be the lower end of this as a target box. Now, if we do get this as a 5-wave move where we get this white count play out into these areas, we need to be careful because, like I said, we could have an additional 4th and a 5th here. Now, the key thing within this count is if we do get this as a 5-wave move down, I would not like to say that this is A, B, C, because it would be very extended. I would rather be looking at the fact that this becomes A, this becomes B, and then we get a deeper C wave. Or alternatively, this all becomes 1, 2, and then we get a bigger breakdown. Now, that would tie into that higher time frame idea that we could actually still be looking for this C wave to play out. And what we would be saying here within this, if I come back out onto the 4-hourly, is that potentially the B wave is already completed. So what we need to be careful of is if we get a 5-wave move down here, we could actually get a 3-wave move up, get a third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, which could actually be looking to bring us down into some of these lower areas here. This 0.618 to this 121. Like I said, make sure you watch that macro video because we go over this in a lot more detail, but effectively this is why we are being cautious of any kind of a 5-wave move to the downside. This could lead us to have a bigger sell-off. Looking at the daily CPR, we can see that the central lines here are very tightly spread. This is indicating volatility. We came onto these, we found support. Now we've pushed up to this S1 line. I will be keeping an eye out on this S2 as a possible resistance area at this 23,372. If we do continue to push up, some other targets would be this 24,398 and this higher level here of this 25,483 as possible pivot points. Now, if we do actually see price start to break down here again, don't really want to see this take this central pivot line again if we are looking at either of these possibilities in the bullish way. Really, we don't want to lose that level. If we are looking at this as a bigger corrective move, potentially we could look to actually retest this. But the second that we sweep this low, we can't look at this as a potential 1-2 anymore, and we'd have to look at it as just a corrective move. Now, if we do start to break down, lose this S1 at this 22,286, what we could actually see is price could start to get gravitated back to the downside. So we have these central lines here, this 21,226, and then we also have this R1 at this 2015. Now, if we do see price actually continue to break down and we're looking for that impulse down, potentially pivot points could be around this 19,126. We have this 18,052 and this lower range here of the 16,980. Now, that these targets don't all have to be met. Sometimes we might only meet one of them, so we just need to be aware of that. Now, as well as that, what we do have here on the weekly is we can see that during this week, we came up here, we retested these, and then we've fallen away. We have moved back up here into this R1 line, which is sitting here at this 23,101. Now, what I'm being mindful of is that if we hold this as a resistance level, possibly what we could see is either price come back down into this R2, around about this 21,490, or alternatively, we could see that continuation down, looking for this R3 here towards this 19,159 region. Now, if we do see that idea of that break to the upside here, need to be careful around these central CPR lines as a possible resistance area of this 25,779 to this 25,066. This could actually align with getting a rejection here. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to just break down after this point. Potentially, we could move up here, find support again, and then look to actually either attack this again or potentially just move up into it. And then we get new weekly CPR points printed as of next week. Now, if we did move above this central CPR area, what we do have is the S1 as a potential target at this 26,991. We have the 29,337, the 30,951 as possible upside targets during this week. Now, on the monthly, what we can see here is that we're actually consolidating a little bit between these levels. Now, if we continue to hold this lower line here, what we could actually see is price could continue to move to the upside here. If we do move above the central line that we've got here, potentially we could look to retest this higher line at this 24,352. Now, this could potentially happen something like this as a bigger corrective move here. But if we don't just move directly up here, I would start to just be worried that we could look to invalidate that bullish count of that breakout. And then if we start to lose this lower line, we could actually potentially move down towards some of these lower areas here. Our R1 line is here at this 17052. And then our R2 line is all the way down here at this 008011. Now, it doesn't mean we have to hit this as a target, even if we lose this higher one here. These are just potential pivot points within the market. Now, if we did get a break to the upside here, then what we do have for this month is a target here of the 031629. We have this target of the 037185 and this higher target of the 46158 as possible targets to the upside here if we manage to break back above these central lines. Now, this would align with the idea of actually getting a break to the upside here. So the lower one would align with our wave 5 option. Alternatively, if we are looking at this bigger break to the upside for a wave 3, then potentially this higher target level could come into play. But like I said, we need to wait for that confirmation that we have good structure here. We need to see a break back above these highs, because until we actually do, we could still be looking at that more bearish situation where we look to break down. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone have a great day. See you in the next one. Take care.